Hello guys, so today we are going to install Jenkins in your machine. So for installation I'm using Windows machine and I will install WAR file in my machine basically, and I will access the Jenkins dashboard using Mozilla web browser. You can also use any of the browser because as Jenkins is a web application, so it actually extracts and start a web server on your machine so that you can access the entire server and the portal, and then you can use it for your CI/CD pipeline work. So the very first thing which required basically for Jenkins installation is Java 11. So Java 11 right now is very mandatory for installation of Jenkins in any of the machine. And the second thing is we need a WAR file. So WAR file represent the web archive file which actually we download for the Jenkins. So how to download this WAR file? It is very easy that you go to the Google and search for Jenkins download WAR, and it will give you the very first link. It's like the Jenkins WAR link, and then after you can download the permanent to the latest. So it will bring up the latest version on your machine. As you can see, on the 6th of June they have released a new version 2.409. so it's up to you. You can download any of the earlier version also. We have all the latest version and all the earlier versions also present. So once you click here, automatically a download will start on your machine. So I have already downloaded it. So let me stop this recording and let me go to my downloads. Okay. So this is a Jenkins WAR, guys. So it will be visible on your machine. And now I will tell you how to install this WAR file. So there are two ways of installing WAR file. The first way is you can directly download the MSI file, which is a type of exe, and you can install it in your machine. And that service will run on 8080 port on your machine. So it's like a web port. It will be open for you to access. The second way is you can explicitly, run it through the command prompt. So today I'm going to give you a walkthrough how to run it from the command prompt. Okay, so let's start with our command prompt way of installation. So the first thing which we're going to do is we are going to, open the CMD and we are going to directory to this particular jenkins.war folder. So how to open a CMD? It's very simple. You just go to your run and print CMD. So it will open a command prompt on your machine. The thing is I have to just go to this particular path. So I'm going to copy this path and I'm going to just write here CD. CD stands for change directory. And then I'm just going to paste here and simple click. So as you can see now, my path got changed from my previous path. So now my command prompt pointer is on this particular path. Now using the dir, I can simply check whether the jenkins.war file is available or not. So I can see that there is a jenkins.war file is available in my machine. All right. So now as we are at the right place, so we need to run a very simple command to run this WAR file, that is java jar jenkins.war. So this is a simple command, guys, which we need to run in order to execute our WAR file. But there is one important thing which you guys need to remember, that Jenkins automatically will start on 8080 port. So better, as we have other softwares also, there can be some scenarios where other software are running on 8080. So better to change the port to some other port. It is up to your choice. You can choose any port. So how to give an explicit port in the Jenkins installation? So we provide httpPort. So this is the command where we provide the port. And suppose if I'm giving 9092. So just keep this port in your mind so that we are going to use our web application on this particular port. So this is the command, guys, which we are going to execute. So let me copy this command once so that I can keep it in a notepad. So I just kept it here. Now, as you can see, the extraction is started for this WAR file, and this extraction will start in your user repository. So if you will go to the this PC in your user, so you will see that there is one .jenkins folder is created. So here the extraction got started, and then whatever plugins, whatever type of installation it is doing, all installation will be happen in this particular portal. So let it extract, And once it will extract, we can access the portal using the local host and the port. So we will simply enter this particular URL in your application. So this port basically represent which HTTP port you have provided. So I'm going to copy it and then I'm going to just open it into my Mozilla. So once I will enter this localhost and 9092. So guys, localhost represent your machine server. If you want to access some other machine server, so you have to provide the domain name of that particular server. So as you can see, now the application is loading and it reaches us, in this unlock Jenkins page. So what this page basically is, so whenever we install Jenkins, we need some type of, password need to be set because we are doing some kind of installation. So once, you are installing it, you can see that there is a initial setup is required and the password is generated. So this is the password which got generated, which you can get it from the command line. But if you want to go to the explicitly to a file, so this is the file which is created. So let me show you this file. So here, if I will go and I will just open it, so you will see that there is an initial admin password file got generated. If I will open it in a notepad, you will see that it contains that same password which I have copied from the command line. It is the same. All right, I think yes, so it is the same password. Okay, so now let's move to the next step. So as you can see, I have entered this password here. I will click on continue and I will just close this initial admin password. Okay, so once you will enter that, after that it will ask you to customize your Jenkins. So we have to use the install suggested plugin, and because whatever other plugins we are going to install, we will discuss about it later, but suggested plugins help you to set up initial jobs creation and all the basic things you can perform in the Jenkins with that. So once you click on the install suggested plugin, it will start installing all these plugins on your machine. And you can see like folder, OWASP, build, credential, all these are the basic plugins which is required in order to set up very basic jobs in Jenkins. So meanwhile, when it is downloading all the plugins, let me tell you about the Jenkins. So basically guys, Jenkins we use for a CI/CD implementation in your project. And CI/CD is something continuous integration, continuous deployment and development. So there are two meanings of it, and I think we can use it in both the parts. So basically it helps you to run your builds on a nightly basis. You can run it on an ad hoc basis. You can run it on the whenever any commit coming up in your Git repository or any of the version controlling repository. And automatically the builds it's start executing and things actually set up for you. So Jenkins helps you a lot in this particular process, and I suppose we'll go to that part step by step. So today let's focus more on the installation part, and then in the next sessions we will discuss more about various type of actions which we can perform in the Jenkins. Okay, so let's give it some time to install all the plugins in your machine. All right, so I think the last plugin is going to install now, and the installation is almost done. So now it will ask you for the users. So first, it will provide you one screen that you can set up various users here. Perfect. So now it will ask you to create your first admin user. So as I am creating admin, I am creating password as admin, confirming as admin, full name as admin, and you can give any of the mail ID if you need. I'm just giving admin@gmail.com. You can reconfigure it later and just click on save and continue. So now this is the first user which is created, and this is the Jenkins URL which is going to work on your machine, and then just save and finish. and then you can click on start using Jenkins. So once you click here, start using Jenkins, the Jenkins setup is, open, and it will just, start a dashboard. So yes, so the dashboard will be visible here. So as you can see here, guys, we have this default dashboard available. There is a logout button, there is an admin here. You can configure many things. You can set the credentials also. Along with that, you can set up different peoples. You can manage Jenkins. So I will discuss a step by step in our next session, like what are the every tab stands for and how basically the Jenkins work in order to set up your CI/CD pipeline. All right, so I think that's it for this session. Let's meet up in the next session. Thank you.